Hi chess friends, welcome to Superbet Chess Poland Rapid and Blitz 2023. I have a big news for you. Magnus Carlsen, after some bad games, he's finally back. I want to show you this game against Wesley, so super GM, so strong at Rapid and Blitz. And here Carlsen played with the white pieces, Wesley so with the black pieces, and we have b3 by Carlsen, not the most common opening to put the bishop here and control this diagonal so quickly. d5 by Wesley and knight f3. Knight f6 by so and bishop b2 like prevented. We have c5 to control the center better, and now e3 by Carlsen. We have e6 and bishop b5 check. Wesley covers with the knight, knight d7 and a castle by white. We have a6 to attack, sorry about that, to attack this light square bishop, and now bishop come back, bishop e2, bishop e7, c4 to ruin the center of Wesley. Castle by black, and now c capture for d5, knight capture for d5, and now knight c3. We have a trade of knight, knight capture for c3, d capture for c3, and now this queen here is open, and an idea could be to bring the queen in here on c2 and leave the space for the rook and to use this d open file. We have b6 to open a square for the bishop, and the queen c2, bishop b7 and the rook d1 like I said. We have queen c7. Wesley has to save the queen from this open d file because it's so bad, because there is a white rook, and they want to counterattack with some rook move here on the d file. We have bishop d3 by Carlsen. Look at this beautiful bishop pair with the coordination of the queen on this diagonal, with the pressure of f7 pawn, of h7 pawn. We have g6 by so to close this diagonal the best way. If your opponent is attacking you on the diagonal with the bishop, you have to close it, okay? We have bishop e4 by Carlsen. If you are thinking about something like this, you have to consider that after this bishop b7, maybe you wanted to open up some line, there is bishop capture, and this pawn structure is bad, and this pawn can be lost, and here white is in a bad position. So you can do this idea, maybe was your idea. Okay, bishop e4, and now we have c4 by Wesley. We have the trade of bishop and the rook d4. Really nice rook lift, really active square, can attack this pawn, at the same time can be prepared a double up on the d file and to put pressure on this for this knight. We have c4 b3 and a4 b3. We have bishop e6 to block this move, rook d1, and now rook d2. In this way, Carlsen prepares this move again, rook d1, and Wesley can do nothing to do it, to block it. We have so knight c5 to centralize the knight. Now the knight is controlling a lot of important square, and now we have c4 by Carlsen. There was here the possibility to play this. Is not so good here for computer, okay? It's better to play c4 and try to attack this bishop. Here black can do this because if you try to see the target of this rook on open file, looks scary, but this square is controlled by the bishop and by the rook, and this square is controlled by the knight. So and here for example, the d6 square is not so useful. So it's not a good move, okay? Rook d1. Carlsen played the best move, c4, and now we have a trade of bishop. So rook d8 to counterattack on the d file, and now we have a trade of rook, and here we have h4 by Carlsen. Another idea could be here in this position to play rook here, and the position continue completely draw material, and this pawn can be pushed, this pawn can be pushed, but here probably a draw. Here Carlsen prefer to capture this rook and then try to push h4 with an idea to open up some diagonal and to try to do something with the coordination of the knight or of the queen, okay? Here we have queen e7 by Wesley, and now h5. A sacrifice of pawn to open the position of black king. We have a trade, g capture for h5 to gain a pawn, and now queen e5. The best move, Carlsen centralized the queen, looks this beautiful activity, and here Wesley played knight for b3, and we have a rook for a6. This rook was attacked, and in this way Carlsen takes back a pawn. We have queen c5 to try to change the queen, and now queen g3 check. Carlsen here can take obviously this pawn because the queen is defending this pawn, so he don't want to trade the rook. He doesn't want to trade the rook, so play queen g3. We have check, king f8, and now knight g5. This knight here is so strong because he's attacking this pawn, and if you try to defend this pawn with the king, you are mistaking a lot, because for example you have knight here check, and what can you do? This knight will take the queen, and okay, so you can defend this pawn. You have to play h6, okay? The knight now comes on h7, and with a good coordination with the queen, and the king now has to come on the e7 square. If you try to come here, is not good. Look at this, because there is a possibility to play rook a7, and rook a7 is so strong because block completely the 7 rank, and the king can't escape. Can you see? This knight here is controlling this square, and the queen is coming. He's coming, and you can't block with your queen here. Blocks the check of white queen because the knight is controlling the f8 square. So here black has to do some check, but after the king move, black has no resource. You can try to do this, the only way to survive, because you pin the queen, okay, you can move the queen for the checkmate, but you simply push f4 to create another threat to come here. And here black has to sacrifice pieces to prolong the game, okay? Really nothing that... can you see? The only way to survive, obviously, but this is double attack, so... and the queen is lost, everything is lost. So you can't play a move like king e8, okay? You have to play... The best move here, however, for Wesley was to play queen f5, not an easy move to find, to hold this pawn. But you have to leave this pawn for white, and it's really hard position for Wesley. Probably the correct move here was to simply play this a5. For a computer, it's a draw position. Black is attacking always this pawn, and the rook can't capture this pawn, and here the knight can be bring here to defend this pawn, and the game continues. But after queen g3 check, king come here, we have a move on knight, and after this knight check, king has to come on e7, and is a bad position for Wesley. Now we have a rook a7, check, so strong move, and the rook has to cover. We have queen h4, Magnus continued with his net of check, and now king has to come on a d6. If you try to come, for example, this square is covered by the knight, so this square is covered by the queen, okay? So what can you do? You have two different ways, but if you play this, what happens? Look at this. This rook now is attacking, can attack on 8 rank, and this is checkmate, okay? The queen has to cover, the rook has to cover, but the queen will capture. If you try to cover with the rook, this is checkmate, okay? So you have to play this, and king d6 here is an easy target, okay? We have queen f4 by Carlsen, check, king e7, and now queen f6. This knight here is a monster, really a monster. Now check, and king has to come back away here, because always the same line you can come, okay? On the, this is checkmate, for example. You can come on an 8 rank. So we have king d6, and now we have a trade of rook capture for d7, king capture for d7, and now queen for f7 check. And can you see the position of Wesley? So it's so bad because only 4 pawns for part, but look at this pawn structure with the king in the completely bad position, and queen can easily attack a lot of pawns and gain material, okay? This knight is a really strong piece, and this knight here is so bad. We have queen e7 to try to survive from the attack of white queen, and now knight f6 check. Here you can't take this pawn because there is a possibility to take the knight for black, but I saw this line. There is a possibility to play queen b5 check, and queen can capture this, and this is always winning for white, okay? So was a possibility after this, but here Carlsen preferred to play knight f6 check, and king has to move, king d8, and now queen g6. This queen here is attacking this pawn, is attacking this pawn, and also the knight, so strong, so winning position for white. We have knight a5, and now queen capture for h6, and knight capture for c4. Carlsen continued to take some pawns, and now after knight h5 we have b5. The only way for Wesley to survive is to try to promote this pawn to a queen, because the g pawn and the f pawn are so strong. We have knight f4. Carlsen wants to centralize the knight, and now king d7. If you try to push your pawn in this way, look at this. There is some check with this knight, and you have to defend, and after the king move you come back with the knight, and you can push this pawn, okay? So you have to defend the position before to push. And after this move, king d7, we have queen h5 by Carlsen to attack this pawn, to put pressure here. And now we have king c6 to defend this pawn, and we have queen f3 check, king b6, and now queen e4, king a5. Wesley want to bring the king here to try to push his pawn, okay? And now knight capture for e6. Carlsen takes another pawn and create 3 unstoppable pass pawn. Queen b4, and now queen c2. We have queen e1 check, king h2, and this queen here guards this pawn, so really important. Knight d2, but we have king g3. This knight here seems scary, but can do really nothing, because if you try, for example, this, there is a possibility to give a check here, to give another check here, and white here continue to improve the position of his queen, And if king try to move, can you see this queen here is unstoppable, and the knight jump for the attack, and is not scared if black play knight f1 check. The king can come here and is completely safe. Okay. However, we have king g3 by Carlsen, and now knight f1 check, but king f4, and there is no good check for black. We have knight, if you are thinking, for example, this is not a good move. Okay, you can simply play this, and the queen here is completely alone. Okay. However, knight d2, and now king g3, knight f1 check, and now king g4 by Carlsen to avoid the draw. We have knight d2, and now queen c3 check, pawn is push to block the check, and now queen c5 check, king a4, and now knight d4 check, not check, sorry, but this knight here is so strong because white queen here can come on b5, can come on c2, can come on a2, and this is checkmate. Can you see? If queen come here, this is checkmate because the knight covers the b3 square and the b5 square, and black king is trapped. So we have b3. In this way there is a square free for the king, but now we have queen b5 check, and after the king move here we have queen capture for b3 by Carlsen. Sacrifice the queen, but not really, because this pawn here blocks the coming of the knight here. So after this queen check, black knight has to take, and we have a double attack with check knight c2, and after the king move, white can take this queen and promote his free pass pawn. And in this position, after knight c2, Wesley resigns the game because it's completely winning for white. So what an amazing comeback by Magnus Carlsen. He's so strong, even if he has done a bad start, he's able to play good and win in this way. I hope this video enjoy you. Like always, I will show you some games of Magnus Carlsen in these days because he played really amazing games. And remember to subscribe to my channel, and see you soon with another video. Bye bye. Thank you.